Modern industries use dangerous chemicals, gases, electricity and explosives. If these dangerous substances escape and cause damage, an important legal question arises: who is responsible? To answer this, courts developed the doctrine of strict liability in the famous English case Rylance v. Fletcher, 1868. Later, in India, the Supreme Court developed the stricter doctrine of absolute liability, especially for hazardous industries. These principles help protect people and the environment. Doctrine of strict liability. The doctrine of strict liability was established in the case of Rylance v. Fletcher, 1868. The rule states that a person who brings onto his land and keeps any dangerous thing for his own purpose is responsible if that thing escapes and causes damage to another person, even if there was no negligence on his part. In simple words, if someone keeps a dangerous substance like poisonous gas, chemicals, explosives or large quantities of water on his property, he must ensure that it does not escape. If it escapes and causes harm, he will be liable even if he was careful. Facts of Rylance v. Fletcher. Mr. Rylance constructed a large water reservoir on his land. Unknown to him, there were old underground mine shafts beneath the reservoir. When the reservoir was filled, water escaped through the old shafts and flooded the neighboring coal mines owned by Mr. Fletcher, causing heavy losses. The court held that Rylance was liable because he had brought a dangerous thing, a large quantity of water, onto his land, and its escape caused damage to another person's property. Essential conditions of strict liability. For strict liability to apply, the following conditions must be fulfilled. A dangerous substance must be brought onto the land. The substance must be kept for the owner's own purpose. There must be a non-natural or special use of the land. The dangerous substance must escape from the owner's land. The escape must cause damage to another person's property or rights. Exceptions to strict liability. The defendant is not liable in the following situations. 1. Act of God. If damage is caused by a natural event that cannot be predicted or prevented, such as a severe earthquake or extraordinary flood, there is no liability. 2. Act of a third party. If the escape is caused by the wrongful act of an outsider over whom the owner has no control, the owner is not liable. 3. Plaintiff's own fault. If the injured person himself causes the damage, the defendant is not responsible. 4. Consent of the plaintiff. If both parties agreed to the presence of the dangerous substance and accepted the risk, liability may not arise. 5. Statutory authority. If the dangerous activity is carried out under the authority of a law and all legal requirements are followed, the defendant may not be liable. Doctrine of absolute liability in India. After the oleum gas leak case, 1986, the Supreme Court of India held that strict liability was not sufficient for modern hazardous industries. According to the doctrine of absolute liability, if a hazardous or inherently dangerous industry causes harm due to the escape of dangerous substances, it is absolutely liable. The industry cannot use any of the exceptions available under strict liability. The court stated that industries earning profits from dangerous activities must also bear full responsibility for any harm caused to people or the environment. Difference between strict liability and absolute liability. Strict liability, absolute liability. Developed in England. Developed by the Supreme Court of India. Some exceptions are available. No exceptions are allowed. Liability may be avoided in certain situations. Liability is complete and unavoidable. Applies to dangerous things generally. mainly applies to hazardous and dangerous industries. Case Study 1, Rylands v. Fletcher, 1868. As explained above, the water reservoir constructed by Rylands flooded Fletcher's coal mines after water escaped through hidden mine shafts. Although Rylands was not negligent, the court held him liable because he had kept a dangerous thing on his land and its escape caused damage. Simple lesson: if you keep dangerous substances on your property, you are responsible if they escape and harm others. Case Study 2, M.C. Mehta v. Union of India, Oleum Gas Leak Case, 1986. In Delhi, oleum gas leaked from a factory of Shriram Food and Fertilizer Industries, causing injury to many people. The Supreme Court held that hazardous industries have an absolute duty to ensure safety. It introduced the doctrine of absolute liability, stating that such industries cannot escape liability by using any exception. Simple lesson: dangerous industries must fully compensate victims if their activities cause harm, even if they were not negligent. Conclusion: the doctrine of strict liability in Rylands v. Fletcher is an important principle that protects people from harm caused by dangerous substances. However, because modern industries involve much greater risks, the Indian Supreme Court introduced the doctrine of absolute liability, which provides stronger protection by making hazardous industries fully responsible for any damage they cause. These principles encourage industries to maintain the highest standards of safety and environmental protection.